Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn. It's Friday, May 24th. Here with a guest today who's been working on a couple different projects. We met maybe, I don't know the exact date we met. I know where we met.
You don't know the exact date?
No, I didn't
man.
write that in my calendar. I wasn't planning on stalking you or anything, so it wasn't an important date.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, I'll have this date remembered for a while. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably like, no, I think it was July. I met you at the thing Nick and Colin did, like the late Mike.
Oh, the late night Mike.
Yeah, at Life World.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And then I think I talked to you a little more on 9/11 because I remember Rachel Cayley did like a 9/11 karaoke.
Right.
Which is like she just changed all the words to 9/11 stuff, which was like she was very diligent about that. So it was a little, it was a fun thing, but it was a little disorganized in a good way. But I remember talking to you like during that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I got to sing that night.
Yeah,
I think I was too busy.
I think you were manning the concession stand, maybe. Like you were selling beers. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, by the way, who the hell are you?
Oh, who am I? Yeah. Okay, good question. Yeah, no, my name's Matt York.
Matt York.
Yeah. Should I say like more? Just
yeah.
Okay. It's my name is Matt York. I'm a comedian, I guess, and I do filmmaker, and I act sometimes and everything that's related, and then I have kind of a normie job, I guess I do. So, yeah.
So you're not unemployed, is what you're saying?
No, I am actually, but I'm like I usually have worked like kind of normie jobs, like rather than I feel like a lot of people in the Brooklyn alt comedy world are more freelance. Yeah, I was gonna say freelance, but I guess unemployed a little bit. Yeah.
No.
I worked in like e-commerce for like a company kind of similar to Etsy. Not Etsy, but similar, and they unfortunately had to cut staff, so they got
a lot of layoffs, but apparently unemployment hasn't been this low in a while. Things are
That's optimistic.
Yeah, so you could help lower those numbers, get on unemployment or get a job. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I should get a job. Yeah, I mean, I have been looking. Yeah, so hopefully I could help out with that. Yeah.
No, it's
Biden turned it around.
It's a pain. It's a pain. So it's not even funny. I don't even think it's funny to make fun of someone who's like trying to get a job, because the process now, like, it's one thing, if you're, I think even at restaurants and those kind of jobs, I think those interviews are getting, more drawn out and more sort of, rounds. There's just a lot of rounds to to get some paper these days.
It's like like every place has like a pre-screen, and then there's like 3 or 4 or 5 interview. Yeah, that'd be funny if like a restaurant had that, like you work at Friendly's and it's like you have to do a Zoom chat, and there's like a picture of a chicken finger, and they're like, "What do you do with this?"
I know they have at some restaurants, they do a working interview where you sort of like work a shift essentially for free.
Oh, really? That's legal, yeah.
I don't know if it's legal. It might not be, but they used to do that in Vermont when I lived there.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's not good, yeah. It's like an internship or something.
Yeah, like for a day.
Yeah.
Did you ever work in a restaurant?
I kind of. I worked in a campus when I went to college in Buffalo. I worked at like a dining hall kind of, and I had to make the burritos, and I was kind of a floater, so I would make burritos, and then I would clean the place where kids eat, and that was it. And sometimes like salads, I'd have to do.
Yeah, I worked at the dining hall too.
Plattsburgh, right?
In Plattsburgh, yeah. Where'd you go?
Buffalo.
So
both like border
boys,
yeah. Different sides of the border, but
I went to Buffalo once for like the Spring Fest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you remember who you saw?
It was Steve Aoki, these two, Cruella
I was there actually. Yeah.
and
Yep.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Shit was live.
It was live. Yeah. Nice.
So you're enough about our old jobs when like 10 years ago. You're doing some work now. You're making things happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
actual fun
Just getting done.
things that you're looking forward to and those kind of projects.
Yeah, the last few years I've been trying to, do more with like just like different mediums. Like I've been doing, I guess, I kind of started in improv a few years back, and I've been doing more. Like I've started to do more stand up, and I had like a 1-man show that I did in February for a week, which went pretty well. And then I'm doing some shorts. Like I just released a short last week called Happier Hour. Which got pretty good reception. There was this place, Screen Vomit. They're like a streaming kind of like blog that made it like short of the week, so that kind of worked out. And I submitted it to some festivals like No Budge, and yeah, so it was. I always like procrastinated with it so long, so I'm glad I finally got it done. And then have another one that's sort of in the making. That's a little bit based more on my personal experience.
Let's take a little. I'm gonna play from Happier Hour.
Yeah.
Happier Hour.
Happier Hour.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play a clip from this real quick.
Sure.
So far from the trains must be hard. Living far from those trains.
The train? What? No, I don't. No, I drive my car. What do you? Why would I take a train? Take a train.
What?
Take a train. Hey, one ticket for the choo-choo.
Oh no. Shit.
Oh no.
Fuck.
What's wrong? Did you? Is your wallet gone again, or?
I just got a text from like my childhood best friend.
Oh man.
And then a missed call also.
Oh no.
And then so I'm just a little worried that maybe she's got in a car accident
Oh God.
or has a illness
Oh
now.
my God! Don't even say it.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like we're not really vibing. I'm really into like energy, and I'm not feeling it here. I'm trying to like do this new honest, open kind of communication process for accountability.
Here's. I'm gonna finish my beer.
Okay, so I will
And
go.
you-
Have a good night.
Yeah.
So-
I'll see you at the market.
That was a clip from Happier Hour. It's kind of hard to say.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
A little bit
It's
of
like
little bit of a tongue twister. So how did you? Yeah, tell me more about that. I really liked that. It was kind of all over the place. There's a lot going on in that little bar. You got a date. You got some acting coaching.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. You did your research. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you watched it. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
good,
watched
though.
it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
It was fun. I liked that. So how did you? Yeah, is that an idea you've had for a while? Just that scene, or yeah?
Yeah. I think it was like, I was really into. This is gonna sound very film bro-y, but I've always like kind of been into John Cassavetes and like kind of 70s indie kind of cinema, and in Cassavetes in particular, he has basically in every one of his movies he has like a scene where it's just at a bar and it's kind of like in that style of like just kind of very natural like dialogue, and like you just like hear like glasses clinking and people getting like into arguments or thrown out, and it's he just like always has like a very kind of like almost fly in the wall like scene of just like people being in a bar, like basically in every one of his movies that I could think of. And I kind of wanted to just do a short that was kind of like that, and just kind of like just a bunch of those kind of scenes. Maybe not as mean. I think his like movies are a little, not in a bad way, but I just like not even to like censor myself, but just like his I think his are usually they just devolve into like like either like a fight or like something and I kind of just wanted to like
So who is this? I don't.
John Cassavetes. He's like he's just like an indie director from like primarily the 70s. Like I mean he started in the late 50s and he basically finances all of his movies or like or he got like a little bit of help from funders, but all of his movies are like pretty low budget and he had to act. He was like an actor too. Like he was in like a lot of Hollywood movies as like a supporting role, and he would like get the money from that to kind of like fund his own stuff.
Okay,
which was really cool. He had kind of like one of the first like I feel like American indie aesthetics that kind of like was resonated for a long time. But I guess I kind of want to emulate that, and then also a little bit like the mumblecore movement in the 2000s, like which is just again like sort of just like dealing with like sort of younger New Yorkers and like how they interact and stuff.
Okay.
So I mean that's kind of the style influence, but as far as the concept, I guess I kind of want to explore a little bit like Nick Naney, who plays the main character Nick in this. He plays like sort of a blue collar construction guy, and it was sort of just I kind of just want to explore a little bit like sort of the awkwardness of that culture sort of crossing over with like sort of more like alternative like quote gentrified whatever like just like younger millennial like culture and like sort of that dichotomy sort of and like how that interacts and then just having it be sort of even just a character study on him as well and just like I think it's something I just saw in Nick because like he sort of I feel like has a little bit of like a Long Island or blue collar touch to him like from where he came where he grew up but that kind of comes out in his comedy, and I thought that element was very interesting, and
he kind of steps into it real easy.
Right.
He's with that girl. It's like they're essentially talking different languages to each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I was really impressed with the way they it went, and that they did it, and they've known each other for a long time, so it was definitely helpful. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, and honestly, like it's just, I mean. It's not to go too much into the production details, but like it was just very cheap to make, and like I kind of wanted to, just have something where I wouldn't get so bogged down with like, oh, can I afford to do this? I know the people who own the bar Willows that we filmed at, and they were very happy to like have me film, and it's just one set, and like getting your friends helps, and and then finding people who. Your friends can recommend is like very helpful. So
you weren't overproducing.
No, it was I mean it was like well under 500. So I mean like it was a good, very easy. It was just something I want to get out there, and I felt like it was a good time to kind of do it with a simple concept.
So how much did you write? Do you write all of what they said, or did they improvise a little bit? Or
it was fairly improvised. I basically wrote a script, and like we basically followed that beat for beat. But they added in like their own lines, which was really great, and which I wanted to. I kind of wanted them to kind of like have the freedom to, since they're such good talent, there kind of open up and do their own thing. So
cool. Yeah, that was good. I really I was laughing.
You were laughing? Yeah, that's good.
Great cast.
Yeah, it was great. So. Yeah, I honestly also would say that I found it a lot easier to write for people that I knew. So like I kind of had these people in mind, like Brian or like Nick, or Sally. Like I know them enough that I could kind of write dialogue. Whereas I feel like in the past I've tried to write stuff with just like made up characters, and it's a lot harder to keep that reference point of like consistency when you're writing dialogue. It's hard to like get a fully formed person. So I think that was an insight I had. It's just if you could write for people it's really good. And even if say one of them drops out, like I did have somebody drop out, and then I had to replace them with the role that William Banks had. It's like still like I mean you have like at least a reference point you could work with, and that person could kind of put their own spin on it if you need to change actors. But still, I just felt like it was a good insight to understand that it's an easy way to write.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely helps to the familiarity with someone, any type of performance, but to know that you can trust them to kind of go off and do a little bit, add their own little touch. Yeah. That helps a lot. So yeah, you were acting in it too. You're at the end.
Yeah.
Sort of like
meta.
sort of like a net. I don't know what you call that. What is that? I've never seen that.
Oh, like where we just like break the.
Yeah, it's like suddenly it was over.
Yeah, it's like a meta. Like I was kind of reluctant to do it at first, but I think it came out pretty well. Like it was sort of just like a meta, like kind of like I just thought it'd be interesting to sort of like see. It's hard to explain, but I think just like at an emotional level, like I realized like a lot of the script I was writing was real in the sense of like it captivated these people's like traits sort of that I'm familiar with. And I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of like just do a glimpse of like how that's reflected in reality sort of. I don't, like just like kind of see like, I don't know, just like even just like, just having people go off and like still kind of seeing how it's like become their character,
where the character ends and
exactly, yeah, or rather just like the way it blends, sort of like it, like just like it's just another awkward scene in the movie because the whole process is like sort of awkward and cringy in a way, you know what I mean? Like like just kind of incorporating that element. So yeah, I think that's kind of why I had it. I was a little bit like, I feel like meta is a very big thing now with like Nathan Fielder and other things like Kaveh Zahedi, who's, a little less popular, or Zahedi, but he, just like the whole breaking the fourth wall thing, I feel like is like starting to get some like traction. So
Deadpool,
yeah. I didn't want to. Wait, is Deadpool meta? Or was that a joke? Oh.
No, a little.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that went over my head. I'm like, I shouldn't just like let that roll. Yeah. How's it meta?
It breaks the fourth wall a lot.
Really?
Talks to the audience. Yeah, and that's from the comic too.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect cast.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun. It wasn't over the top.
Thank you.
I was kind of confused. I was like, oh, wait. It kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
In a good way. So wait, you submitted it to, what was it called? And they put it on? They liked it?
I didn't really submit it, but somebody found it on Screen Vomit. They're like kind of a blog that they just like tagged me in it. They're like short of the week, so that's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I submitted to a couple of festivals like No Budge and couple others. Yeah, maybe I'll hold off saying, but
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So how long did that take to make?
I would say like a couple weeks. Like it just maybe like a month if I just think of the whole process, like from casting to writing the script to filming, which only really took a day, and then editing. Yeah, I would say like a month about.
But you did it one day of shooting.
Just one day of shooting.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, which was another thing that was good. Yeah, I feel like everyone was surprised. Like Nick was like, "Oh, that was quick," because it was just like a very quick process, which is another good thing. It was just efficient to like make being in one setting.
Okay. Well, let's go on a little break. We're gonna listen to some music real quick.
Sure.
This is one of the tracks that you sent me.
Should I explain it, or do you just want it to speak for itself?
I think it can speak for itself.
Sure.
Yeah. You're listening to Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn. I'm your host, Bryant Denton, here with Matt York.
Sentence me to 20 years of boredom for trying to change the system from within.
And we're back. That was Leonard Cohen. What's the song's name?
Spoken like somebody who's never heard of him.
First we take Manhattan.
Yeah.
Then we take Radio Free Brooklyn. Sorry,
No, that was good.
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
What's that song?
That's fair. You're moving from borough to borough, so Radio Free Brooklyn. Yeah. It's a Leonard Cohen song that was released in the 80s. Leonard Cohen is or was like a primarily a folk singer, like in the 60s. Like almost, I don't want to say Bob Dylan tier, like he was a little more like romantic, but he kind of played with like some of them, like Joni Mitchell and all, that kind of era. But in the 80s, like especially with this album, I'm Your Man, he kind of moved a little bit more into like synthy pop kind of stuff, like a really cool aesthetic. And I really like this song because I do it for karaoke, number one, because most of his songs are pretty depressing to do for karaoke. But I just love his voice, and I have like a deep range, so I'm able to tap into that. So I've been doing that at karaoke recently, and it seems like it hits pretty well, surprisingly.
What happens?
A lot of people like it depends where I do it. Like I've done it in like Ridgewood at like kind of a hip alt bar, like Sundown or something, or Goat Cheer, and like people seem to, like people respond to it well.
Yeah.
But then I've also done it at like kind of more bro-ier places. Like I forgot, there's this like place in Williamsburg that's funny enough, it's in Williamsburg, but like it's like kind of bro-y, and like I did it once, and like it was just like not crickets, but people just talked among them, like they were, you know what I mean? Like they just like went
Tuned out.
They tuned out, and then and then somebody would be like, "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys, and it was like back to like, woo,
fucking life is amazing.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I think I like this one because besides the karaoke thing, it's like I usually hate when singers from the 60s and 70s would do 80s stuff. Like I just like Jefferson Airplane, or like I don't know, just like a bunch of different like artists like that off the top of my head I can't really think of, like their 80s stuff was just like kind of weird, and like they couldn't really adapt to it, and I don't know, and it would be like kind of corny and cheat, like just overproduced pop. But I feel like Leonard Cohen, it's like the reverse. Like he went towards like a more poppy direction, but he made it very interesting, and like it's actually my favorite, I think, of like his eras. So yeah, I don't know, that's like an interesting thing, but yeah, I guess it's kind of.
Do you like those different? What's your favorite window of time? Do you like the 80s or?
No, I don't. It's funny. I used to like not really like the 80s, like, and I think for that reason, like I thought it was a lot of it was just corny pop and like kind of like the Breakfast Club, like just stuff I didn't really think was that good. But I feel
how old are you?
I'm 32. I'm gonna be 33.
Okay. So yeah, we're kind of around the same age.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the 70s and the 60s a lot. Like, then parts of I don't know. I like most decades actually. Even like the 80s, I've started to come around on. I was gonna say like there's always like different scenes and phases and decades. Like it's hard to like reduce it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I feel like there's a lot of different subgenres that I could name that I'm into.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been contemporary. I don't know.
Really? That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the 2020s have been hitting okay. I used to like. I feel like the 2000s I didn't really like when I was in high school and like into the 2010s. But I feel like there's been a good turn kind of lately. Like even though people are very doom scrolling about everything,
right?
Like oh the world's effed, but like can I curse or
yeah
the world's fucked, but like which it is in certain ways. But like I think culturally, like I don't know, like movies have been better. I think like A24, like people have actively tried to avoid cliched stuff and like
right.
I don't know, like
Cinema's
I like
back.
Orange Wine.
Cinema's back right now.
Cinema's back, yeah. And yeah, I don't know, and like I like the food that's gotten popular, like Orange Wine and like oven baked pizza, not oven baked. that's frozen. Like I don't know, coal oven pizza.
DiGiorno.
Yeah, DiGiorno.
DiGiorno's hitting really good.
I go to DiGiorno's in Ridgewood, the little one-off they have, like and like borscht and sardine. I don't know. I feel like there's like a good aesthetic kind of going around now.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Orange Wine thing until just last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like wine made from oranges, right?
I thought the same exact. I was going to ask you if you thought that because I thought the same thing. It's just the color like orange.
Oh,
isn't that funny? Don't you feel silly?
Yeah, no, I don't think we.
I wouldn't have thought that. I was like, yeah, it's made from orange, and it's not. It's just like it just has the skin on it.
Oh,
it's like a white wine with like the skin on it still, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That because I went out. I was in Vermont last week, and I met with my team, and we went out to dinner afterwards, and one of my coworkers was explaining the orange wine trend, but she didn't tell us that the wine wasn't made from orange juice. And my older coworker, he's like maybe in his late 40s. He expected
Older.
older than me.
Right, I get it. Yeah. Youngins.
He's the oldest
oldest,
on
yeah.
our team. He was like expecting it to be like very citrusy and sweet, and he was like very thrown off by the wine experience. But we never learned that it wasn't the girl who's in on it didn't clue us in that it was
Interesting. She
actually
never.
grapes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe she just like knew already, so she didn't like think that other people would be confused. But yeah, I thought the same thing for a
So
long
it's
time.
grapes.
Yeah, it's just like regular wine, but
Oh.
made a little differently, and it's like usually natural, so it doesn't have like sulfates added in, whatever those are.
Chemicals.
Yeah, I just buy whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever they
sulfides.
tell me.
Yeah.
Sulfites. Yeah, I guess they're no good. I don't know. So
Who fucking
it's
knows?
natural. It's organic. It's good, man. Yeah.
I don't know. Feel kind of like cheated right now that it's
It's
not
not
made-
orange.
Yeah, it's not oranges. Kind of fucked up.
I know that sucks. Yeah. They should
So
make
yeah. I don't know. I've kind of always been like, in the 2010s, like things felt good then too,
Yeah.
Kesha, Taylor Swift, like people are sort of and Drake, like people are turning on what was our bread and butter 10 years ago. People are rejecting what essentially was just it was everything, dude. Taylor Swift, we got Shake It Off, we got Bad Blood, like
That was a good album. Yeah.
people forgetting about what Drake, he had. Come on, dude. Started from the bottom. Hotline
Wait,
Bling.
you think the backlash is like too much?
Yeah,
now?
the backlash. Like we're people are turning on what was staple, what was everyday part of our culture.
Right.
And
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that's true.
This
A little cynical. Like these days, people are a little more cynical.
yeah, I just feel like it's a little. I don't know. What do you think of the beef, Drake?
Oh, I literally haven't paid. I know it's like Drake and Kendrick, right?
Yeah,
I did like literally. I just didn't.
You didn't listen to
like,
BBL
I almost
Juicy?
like on principle refuse, just because I'm not like either a big fan of him.
You're
I
not a
didn't-
rap scholar.
No, I mean I like the older rap. I don't know. It's like very white boy thing to say.
The
but I
old
like,
Kanye?
Like the no. I guess I mean like old, like as in like 90.
Yeah.
Like Biggie. No. I mean I like Tribe Called Quest and like like De La Soul and like that was more my era. I mean I do like more contemporary. I like some of Kanye's stuff. I mean as a Jewish person I could say that. So
Yeah.
I have the I liked
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I liked some of his stuff. But I haven't really listened to his Christian stuff. But what happened exactly between Drake and Kendrick? Yeah, they were just mad at each other.
Yeah, they're just beefing. I think Kendrick Lamar. At first it was J. Cole and Drake who were beefing, and then I think Kendrick got involved. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what started it off. But J. Cole.
I'm a better rapper. No, I'm a better rapper.
Oh yeah, pretty much something like that. And it's like, I don't know. The diss music is okay, I guess. It's like not the best vibe.
Yeah, it is bad vibes. Yeah,
Like there can be more fun subjects.
I just listened to one that Ice Cube did that I'd never heard before. Like he dissed like Eazy-E and Dr. Basically the rest, like his former NWA members, which was interesting.
Have you ever gone to a rap show?
Not really. No, I've been to like some local ones. Like my friend Mikey's a rapper, and I've been to like a couple of his. Not really recently, but like in the past, yeah.
Yeah. I saw Drake. I saw Kendrick.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Kendrick. Seen Kanye. They're good performers, but like once you get to like I don't know, their rap shows can be definitely a miss. I've seen some.
Really, they're just like not.
Well, so what they'll do is they kind of do like a speed run of their music. They'll just do like, say they've got like I think Flo Rida does this, and it's not anything against him, but he has a lot of songs, a lot of features, and he'll play the song and only play like the 30 seconds of his feature or his chorus on someone's song.
I see. Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it's like a medley. It's honestly like a medley of their like greatest hits.
Yeah. Like almost. Yeah. Yeah. Like just like they'll bounce from like one into the next.
Yeah. So it's just kind of it's like very like, and then and then the songs just don't hit as good without the rest of the people there. So
right.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of fading rap. I'm not really plugged into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Kanye. Thanks for that.
Oh man, yeah, you really.
Yeah. So, what are you allowed as a Jewish? Is it okay if you like talk about Kanye and listen
Yeah.
to you? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
No. Like, if you do, you have any on Spotify? Any songs saved from his? Or do you remove them?
No. I've kept it. I mean, I don't think I ever saved any of his songs. So, like, I'll just like listen on the regular stream. But like I'll like listen. So I'll like throw on like Bound to or like just like a random if I'm just like feeling. He does hit some. He's got like good. Obviously, he's who he is for a reason. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like have any moral uplift. Yeah, I think it's like 2 years. So I'm like, whatever. I don't like. I mean, I'm not
Not a fan.
I'm not saying I like it. I don't know. Like, I mean, I've always thought he was a little like douchey kind of, but like, oh man, I'm like starting beef on air. But like, but he's like, I don't know. Yeah, his music's like fun.
Yeah, no, it's hard. Like I know on Twitter, like gets harder and harder to be a Kanye West fan because it's just like the events over the years they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like, can you separate the art from the artist? Maybe sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's like you can still think they're annoying.
Totally. Yeah.
And stupid, maybe.
Right. Yeah. There's a spectrum of it. I think,
Yeah.
Of the separating the art from the artist.
So, yeah. What other music? Like, what's your genre? What's your preferred genre of music?
Oh God. It's just like so all over the place. I'd say.
Wait, what's the last concert you went to?
Neil Young.
Oh.
I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to cancel.
You're supposed to be here last.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was the show?
It was good. He sounds kind of like exactly the same, which is good. That's a good thing. He's like 78 years old. And I just had to kind of go because like it was he didn't tour for 10 years, since 2014. And, given his age, I don't know if hopefully he makes it to the next one, but we'll see. But yeah, it was cool to see. It was, what's the word I'm looking for? It was interesting because I guess I didn't realize he was playing a lot of stuff with like Crazy Horse, which is the band he like plays with. But he played like stuff off their album, so he didn't really tap into like some of his older stuff that I maybe thought he was going to play, like the albums like Harvest or In the Gold Rush, which are just like two big albums he played. So like there were some songs that were kind of missing, but it's fine. Like I mean, I thought like it was still a very good performance, and like it was still good to hear. Like, he was a little bit more in hard rock mode because that's what Crazy Horse is closer to.
Okay.
Rather than his folk stuff, but that's fine, And I thought it was cool, definitely cool to hear, and he did a great performance. He had a weird like opener, which was, it was almost like a Christian rock. No, it was just like a preacher
with
like
Creed. Creed.
No, it wasn't Creed. No, it wasn't a Christian rock. It was like a preacher with like a backup band, and they sang like an environmental music. Like it was like fake Christian music. Like they were trying to do like the earth doesn't have that much long, so get on. It was just like he was just doing like like a preacher in church, but
like
it was about
spoken word sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of like they would just do like there would be a backup band kind of singing like a chord, and then like he would just kind of like just be like an evangelicus, but for just environmental issues.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a parody in a way, but it was just like it was just very corny and like boomer. It just like wasn't good. It didn't hit. Like I mean, I obviously agree with his message. Like we got to take it serious. But it was just like a very strange,
just a weird
I
way
don't
to
know. It was
start
like
the
a funny,
show.
yeah. And a lot of people weren't having it near me. There was one guy who was just like, it's kind of funny because he was like annoyed by the guy, but this guy who was sitting behind me was complaining was kind of equally annoying because he was just like, he was drunk and like he just like was very loud and just like wouldn't he's like oh, shut the fuck up, this guy's so fucking, he's like, who wants to fucking hear, and he's like, I fucking hate this, and it was just like in my ear. So like I'm like, I agree with this guy, but like I just his presentation itself was pretty annoying too, and I don't think he was aware of that, which is fine.
So you had the worst time.
It was both. Yeah, it was the criticism was annoying, which I ostensibly should have agreed with, and like the thing was no. I mean, it's fine. I didn't really.
Where was this?
I try to look at annoying things as endearing. Like it was like a cutesy. It was at Forest Hills in Queens. Yeah.
Oh, I've never been there.
It's cool. It's a nice venue. Yeah, I love the area there. It's got like really cool houses and like tree lined neighborhoods and stuff.
How big is it?
It's not huge. It's like a stadium, but it's not like crazy big. I can't really explain it, but like it's like even the highest seat, you could still kind of. It's not like an ant. It's more like like an inchworm.
Okay. Oh, so you're sitting.
I was sitting. Yeah, I was. I wasn't actually at the top. I had like a little bit closer to the floor, but yeah, I was sitting. It's sitting.
Okay.
Like bleachers.
That kind of reminds me of I saw Phil Collins maybe
nice.
I think maybe like 6 years ago. So he's not in the best health now.
Yeah.
And he was doing fine then. I think he's gotten worse, but that's kind of, I was like, I need to see him. Like, I don't know when. I don't know how long he'll still be touring. I don't think he's touring now. I think Genesis had a run like last or two years ago. But for me, it was sitting down. I usually like to stand, but I was sitting down, and there was an American. It was in Montreal, next to an American who really didn't want to talk at all, not really singing. And then there was a French Canadian guy next to me, and he didn't. I don't understand that he didn't like speak English. He just likes the music. I couldn't conversate with him, but we were enjoying the music together.
Oh, that's good. So it's like an international. Like he's like, and you're like, yeah,
yeah. So yeah,
the American guy he wasn't having it though. He's like,
he was not having it
sorry.
at all. Yeah, it was.
That's sad.
Yeah.
You try to like reach out. Like sometimes in public, it's like, oh, I don't want to embarrass myself, and then. Most people are friendly, but then once in a while, like it's confirmed. It's like, okay, this person didn't want to talk to me. So.
No, he had no. Just sit during the show in silence. I guess.
Wow. Yeah. Teach their own. I guess.
Teach their own. So yeah, no, it was good that you saw him because it's good to go. Like
see the old guys.
Have you ever been you always go to concerts, or do you not go much, or?
Yeah, I go. I would say like crazy amount. I have some friends who go like once every week or two, either to see like local bands or just like they're just very into whatever. Like I have a friend who's into pop punk and emo, and he's just constantly seeing like whoever's touring, old or new. But I'm not. I don't think I'm like as big in that sense of live performances. But yeah, I probably see like a few a year, and I try to see like the older guys. Like I saw like Bob Dylan. Maybe 10 years ago too, and he like really wasn't as great live as Neil Young, just like not as energetic. I feel like, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, other than that,
you got a bucket list or a list?
I'd like to see Sade, who she hasn't toured in a long time. But I ran into her guitarist because I was wearing a Sade shirt, and he actually approached me, which is funny.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't recognize him, but he told me that they're probably going to start touring. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I guess they're going to start. It could have been made up too, but like he said that they're going to start touring.
He literally is in the. He
just didn't want to hurt my feelings. He's like, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
Sade.
Yeah, I like Sade.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've seen a good amount. Oh, I want to see The Weeknd. That's one who.
He'd be good. Yeah, I'd like to see him.
I feel like he puts on a good show. So let's play another one of your clips. This is from your one-man show. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So I submitted this play that I was going to do to this place called The Spade. Sorry.
God bless you. God bless you.
I was like, when is it coming? And it just like consists of all these like phone call videos I made that are like kind of just around Instagram, and I kind of just consolidated them into a quote play. It's really just like a 10-minute like thing of me doing these different phone calls, and it's it's just like kind of like weird, cringy phone calls that like are based on maybe phone calls I've had, but just like I've made it a step weirder. And I submitted that to this place called The Spade, which is like an indie, Brooklyn-based like theater collective run by this guy Christian Flynn, and Sarah Norcross and Lydia Brinkman, I believe her name is, and and they accepted it. Like, you know, it was like for this festival that they were doing, so it was me and 4 other plays. And we did like a run, like a 4-day run, and and it ended up pretty good. So got some good feedback. So I hope.
All right, let's play a little bit from it. This is Phone Calls from Matt York.
I forgot what to do. Hello? No problem. I'll call that and then the Ridgewood one. Okay. Cool. I forgot what to do. Hello? Hi, is this a benefits administrator? Hi, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Good. So I got recently laid off from my job. Well, fired, but laid off. I mean, yeah, they said laid off technically. And they gave me the option to go on Cobra. But unfortunately, Cobra is $150,000 a month. I can't afford that. So basically, what happened was I talked to one of your other people, and they set me up with another health plan. But unfortunately, it's like not even insurance. It's just like a Christian like health share ministry, which sounds like really cool in theory. But the problem is, I have therapy, and like they don't cover that because they want me to like pray instead. Yeah. And then I told them I was Jewish, and like they literally just took the benefits away. But I still have to pay the fee per month. So it's so I don't want to do that either. Do you have another one that's like not that, but like it's like, but not the $150,000 Cobra one, but like just a little bit more expensive than the Christian ministry one? Yeah, actually, I did find out through John Oliver. Like I found out about the he did an expose on it. Yeah. Which I clicked on a Reddit link. Yeah. Okay. Oh, your next one is $5,000 a month. You don't have anything that's like cheaper than that. And what does that get me? 50% off Advil, that's it.
That's a nice little slice of life right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you insured?
Yes, I am now. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I feel like a lot of people aren't.
It's hard. Yeah. Are you? Or do you
yeah.
Mind? You could. Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, Sam.
I'm lucky. You know.
Yeah.
People can just get fucked, I guess.
Yeah, I got lucky. I'm on Medicaid, so that kind of worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we never learn about that stuff, like, until you're not living with your parents, and
it's very confusing. Yeah, I remember when I was like 26 and I first had to go, through my job. I was just like so confused. I'm like, what does in network mean? Like, I went to like an out of network health, like urgent care place when I had hemorrhoids, and like I didn't, it's like I didn't know, and I got charged up the yin yang, and
they were burning.
Yeah, my parents were pissed, and like I'm like I don't know, I'm just so confused. What's a deductible? I don't get. Like now I understand it, but it was a little confusing.
Yeah. Instead, we're learning the Pythagorean theorem. Well, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know how to say.
Pythagorean theorem. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that they don't teach us more practical stuff.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
So yeah, what kind of inspired that little short? Yeah, your poems. Or well, not poems, or your phone calls.
Poems,
your phone
yeah.
calls.
Yeah. Well, that one in particular that you played was based. Yeah, when I lost my job, it's basically I was sold on a Christian health share plan by this guy. It was very sketchy. The benefits administrator sent me over to a marketplace salesman guy, and he was just very short on the phone. He's like okay. And he's like well, you can't. Yeah, you made too much money. You can't do Medicaid. And then he just sold me on this thing that was $250 a month, which was still a lot. And it was it wasn't a real insurance. It was a health share, which is a communal. Basically, you put money into it, and then that pot that people contribute to each month pays people's bills, which is a good idea in theory, but it was a Christian run one, so they didn't. It was sketchy. They didn't cover
Wait,
everything.
a health share.
Health share, it's called. Yeah.
So,
yeah, so
everyone puts in money.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then if someone needs it,
right, the pot kind of covers it, right? So which is a good idea. I mean, it's just it's essentially just a non-profit version of insurance,
but
right?
that's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the in practice, the way they did it,
Right?
essentially, yeah, they were taking money and they weren't paying for most things. I had therapy and they didn't pay that because it didn't cover mental health, which I didn't know, and it was so annoying. And and then I had to pay therapy out of pocket for a little bit, and then my friend's husband, I talked to him about it. I dropped it, and I was just fuck it, I'll just whatever. I won't have insurance for a while, and hopefully I don't get hit by a car. But I talked to my friend about it. My friend's wife and my friend's husband. He said that, that he just got a Medicaid easily. He's like just try to go through the application and you should be okay.
Yeah.
And I did, and I was fine. The guy kind of lied to me and said that I wasn't qualified, and I was. So yeah. So it ended up working. Medicaid's great because
there's
no
different
copay.
brackets
Yeah.
upon your income.
Totally, yeah, and it's it's a little limited, it's you gotta make sure it's in network specifically, and a lot
Right.
of places don't take it, but
Right.
it's still it works, and it's for now it's good, until I get
Now
a new
you can
job,
get
yeah.
hit by a car and
Exactly, and be fine.
it's
Yeah.
fine. Totally.
Yeah,
These is what we talk about on life support. Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, life support. Yeah,
yeah.
what? Yeah, what is that? Is there a theme behind that? Are you trying to provide actual?
No.
Yeah.
Not really. No, I mean I want everyone to live.
That's good. Yeah. Same.
I want everyone to live. So if there's advice that can come up to help someone live, it really is crazy. I feel like a lot of people don't know that they can get on health insurance through the state,
Totally.
and even I've talked to it's just a conversation that is so intimidating, and the idea of figuring it out for some people, it's I don't. But you're not going to get insured. You got to do that. You got to do
It's
that.
important. Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard. I get it.
Yeah. No, my Instagram handle is Dr. Denton, so I'm sort
Life
of
support, yeah.
sort of
Doctor, yeah.
going with the sort of going with
I was was that a fire drill?
going with this medical theme as far as I can take
That's
it.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're almost at the end here. What's going on coming up for you? Are you have any shows booked?
Yeah.
Or what's next with Matt York?
So I'm making another, I think I mentioned before, I'm making another short in the coming probably weeks about my situation, which is wow, this is big. I'm announcing this on air, but I've told everybody this already. But my mom basically, had to use a sperm donor to have me, which I knew, right? And I ended up meeting a lot of my half siblings who were raised in other families that also use the same sperm bank.
Oh wow.
So that's been and that was during COVID when I was in my late 20s, and
how many people did you meet?
There's 6 of us or 7,
Oh.
yeah, altogether. And yeah, it's I went on Ancestry.com basically, long story short, and I met I matched with like one of the brothers. So you know, it's a very interesting story. So like I just kind of figured I would try to do a short kind of inspired by it. It doesn't encapsulate the whole thing, but like it's basically going to be about these half siblings who have a half sibling who's coming over, but this half sibling doesn't know that he's like their half sibling. Like he just thinks he's related to them because he matched with them on Ancestry, and that's actually based on like what happened with one of my brothers, not me, but like one of the brothers that we found didn't know that, you know, that it was that he was our brother. He thought he was like our cousin because he just matched with us like on Ancestry, but he didn't. I guess, you know, he like his family hadn't told him, whatever. So it was kind of a moral dilemma of like, do we tell him or, you know, and it was just the awkwardness of like, we had to kind of push, like, we're like, did your mom talk to you about it? And he's like, yeah. She said she doesn't know who you guys are. Like, she's like, she doesn't know where you're related from, like which of your cousins we might be. And eventually one of our brothers just had a conversation with him and told him, and then he talked to his mom, and like, it was actually okay. Like it ended up that like, it was, you know, it ended up smooth, you know, like even though it was a little, obviously for him, it was very intense, but like it ended up okay.
Wait, so what do you mean match? How does that work?
So when you go on Ancestry or 23andMe, you put in your DNA sample, and it matches you with other people who are in your family tree. So when I first did it, I was just really trying to see what the background was on my dad's side, because I know my mom's like Ashkenazi Jewish, so I'm 50% that, and then on the dad's side, I was like mostly Irish and a little English, pretty white, honestly, because like I'm pretty tan skinned, so like I thought I probably have some like weird ancient, I don't want to say Israelite, ancient Hebrew you know, DNA that makes me a little dark or something, because I thought I'd be like Greek on the dad's side, because like I just have very tan complexion and like dark hair, but no, I'm pretty white on the dad's side, but anyway, so like I submitted that, and about 6 months later I matched up with my oldest brother who introduced me to the other siblings, because he had already kind of matched with them through various ways.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, no. It reminds me, did you ever watch that show Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah. I never said that episode, but I know the show.
They have like a lot. They would have family reunions, or people like long lost relatives meeting each other. Yeah. And it would get pretty emotional from what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, did that happen? Was anything like that going on, or?
I don't know if it was. No, I mean, like I think by the point we met each other in person, I'd sort of like talked to them enough on the phone. I never really got too emotional about it. Like I thought it was definitely exciting, and like it was like holy shit. Like, but
could you see yourself in them?
Yeah.
And your father in them the same way you see in yourself?
Yes. So the father we didn't really know till a little later on. Now we know who he is, the donor. But yeah, I mean, even with him and like with all of them, I do see like elements of myself. Like we're all sort of creatively inclined. We all have like similar like anxiety and like short attention spans, and like we all sort of have a similar sense of humor. Like we rented an Airbnb in Philly 2 years ago, and you know, like there was definitely like an overlap, I think, of like some traits, even though we're all a little bit different in certain ways. Yeah, it's been interesting to get to know them. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did that, and it was a good experience.
It's cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always thought about doing that, but can't they track you? Aren't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little sketchy, the DNA thing, but like I feel like at this point it's a lost cause. Like, what do you know? Like if you have a fucking cell phone, it's like they already have everything,
right?
So like, what do you know what I mean? Like I agree. I mean, I feel like
they just go to your apartment.
My college self would hate me, like when I was like a weed smoking, like fucking whatever. Hat. Yeah, when I was like a Ron Paul. I mean, not really, but like I was like very anti-surveillance. I feel like in college, and like no, I'm just like I don't care. I mean, I do care, like if it's used for bad things, but like I don't. I feel like there's some degree that you have to sort of accept.
Right, the surveillance state.
Yeah.
That's our life now. That's our life. Siri's listening. Alexa's listening. Even if you unplug the bitch, it's like
she goes into like some hidden battery mode.
Yeah,
you can't shut her off, man.
Well, we're at the end here.
Yeah, just one more plug actually. I forgot. This is something I've been doing for a while, so like it's funny I didn't really mention it, but I also do a YouTube show called Friends of York, which is
Right.
sporadic. It's sporadic, but like
What's that about?
it's basically. I hate to compare it to this, but it's the best way I can think of it. It's almost like because he's been canceled, but kind of, and he's like, whatever. It's just like I don't know what it. But it's kind of like comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. That format of like I'm just hanging out with somebody and like we shoot the shit and there's like a little bit of fun improv and we do weird things and it's all in my apartment and I just kind of have like interesting New Yorkers come over, not necessarily comedians, but you know, interesting New Yorkers. And I have another episode I'm working on that I'm going to film next week with Patrick Doran from Podcast About List, who's a friend and neighbor of mine. So yeah, that should be good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, it's a silly show. I like to distinguish. It's not necessarily a podcast because it's so sporadic and it's like each piece is a little bit kind of visual, you know. Like so, it's like a mix of podcasts and you know, almost like small documentary on the person.
Yeah, you do it on YouTube, right?
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your YouTube and what's your Instagram so people can follow?
The YouTube is Friends of York. I put my short basically on my regular YouTube show. My handle is You Should Go Into Radio 91.
Where does that come from? Did someone say that to you?
Yes, because I guess I have like kind of a deep voice. So
Oh.
yeah.
Well, usually they're telling you you're ugly.
Yeah, that could be it too.
It could be both.
It could be both. Yeah.
At least that's what it was for me.
Really?
When I was,
Oh, God, I'm
when
sorry,
I was
man.
in school, that's
Yeah.
what that was for.
I think it was because I mean they would usually follow up with your voice is good. So hopefully they didn't mean the ugly. I don't know. I'm not sure.
People are cruel.
People can be. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no
that
one,
sucks. I didn't
no
even
one,
think
no
about
one
that, yeah.
ever, no one ever said that to me. No one ever.
Oh, really?
No.
I know there's like the thing like you have a face for radio and like a voice. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. No, I mean people usually say I'm good looking, which has its drawbacks because like I'm a little bit awkward socially, so I feel like people expect me to be more
Better.
suave. Like I'll get like a lot of matches on apps, but like I don't per se do great on first dates. So I don't know. So yeah, so it's not all roses.
But a date
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right after this. Yeah. I usually don't try to
Could be worse.
try to just like book it back to back, but yeah,
Could be worse.
could be worse. Could be worse. Yeah.
Matt York, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Bryant.
A few questions that I need to know. How you could ever hurt me so. I need to know what I've done wrong and how long it's been going on. Was it that I never paid enough attention? Or did I not give enough affection? Not only will your answers keep me sane, but I'll know never to make the same mistake again. You can tell me to my face, or even on the phone. You can write it in a letter,